they had a
Mhm.
saying back then: we want a country without a king and a country without a pope.
Mhm.
And America is built on this idea: religious freedom and self-governance.
Mm.
Um, we all democracy, we all have a say. We all have the Holy Spirit that works in and through us to be help us act according to our convictions, right?
Mhm.
So if in the days of Moses, in the days of David, there was really no, not that you couldn't make decisions to go against God, but what began to happen was when you did, there were steep
Yeah.
consequences. And there's even some people in our country today that say we should still have those kinds of consequences today. But like you're saying, what keeps us from that? What keeps that system from becoming corrupt? If it's centralized. And even in the Bible, when we had those theocratic systems, there were corrupt kings. So even though there were checks and balances for, Jehoiachin in
Mhm.
his day, for I'm trying to think of Jezebel and Ahab.
Yeah.
They were kings of Israel. It was during the theocratic time, but they were wicked.
And because it's centralized around them and God would speak through them to the people,
Mhm.
it would then lead the people astray and it became this really big issue.
Yeah, and also if the government or the people in power, the religious power, also have the governmental power, then you have to go to the government for your access to God in a way too.
Mm, yeah.
So it's extremely problematic, and in my opinion, anti-American. So the idea that the Holy Spirit goes to everyone is like democracy.
Right, because with democracy, you have the people who are making the decisions
Mhm.
about, they get to vote and that type of stuff. So
Yeah,
it's
and
kind
our
of
our collective
right.
voice, in a sense, is the voice of God.
Mhm.
Now, again, there's corruption in humans, and we
Yeah.
don't always make the right
Right.
decisions. But um, there's challenges with this idea, and it's deeper than what most people think. Well, we want Christian values, we want people to get back to God, we want our country based on God's law. So let's just force it. The problem with that too is that it's no longer based on the movement of the Holy Spirit,
Mhm.
it's based on human effort.
Right.
And when we try to force things and force what we think is God's will, it ends in disaster time and
Mhm.
time again. So, country without a king, country without a pope, and no centralized religious power. So, really, if you think about it, if America were to go back to a theocratic model, you're eventually going back to basically popery.
Mhm.
Potpourri, not the kind you smell, but a pope,
Yeah.
right?